world's gone to shit, but there's one thing I know. Oh, it's happened before, it'll happen again. Don't despair, don't give up. If you do, oh, they win. So we ride, keeping our heads down until we're on the other side. Oh, we ride, we ride this bullshit out. The game is rigged, the road is hard, but saddle up and play your cards and ride, keeping our heads down until we're on the other side. Oh, we ride, we ride this bullshit out. Everything's gone to hell, just can't trust anyone. All around us is nonsense. Get your boots, saddle up, take the reins, 'cause today we ride, keeping our heads down until we're on the other side. Oh, we ride, we ride this bullshit out. We ride it out. Ooh, ride. We'll always ride this bullshit out.
Welcome back. We hope you are learning from our series so far. Ms. Gressley, will you tell us a little bit about the woman who goes by Danceinator, Dirty Percy 6, and Traumatizedwi?
Of course. She was another fan who was a fellow mod for a while. She had been friendly to me at first, but there was something about her that made me feel uncomfortable. She was extremely domineering and manipulative. She also seemed rather immature and selfish. She'd brag about her relationships, not caring if others were uncomfortable with them. She also allowed other people in her Discord to harass me, and then punished me. She used the excuses that I was in an antinatalist and child-free subreddit as grounds for hate toward me. She also claimed that, because I was allowing a minor to be a mod, I had to be a predator. A good amount of the fandom is minors, and to be fair, minors are moderators in a lot of fandom-related spaces within the fandom. My grounds for allowing this was that at the time, the minor was acting more mature than she was. I was very ill. In fact, I was slowly dying and wasn't aware of it. This was in the month or so leading up to what would be my 3-week hospitalization and subsequent surgery. At this point, I was struggling to function on the most basic level. I hadn't been able to eat properly. Everything made me want to vomit. I was in extreme abdominal pain. No matter what I did, my health got worse. I wound up in the emergency room several times. Enjoying Thomas gave me a distraction from my suffering. The pain made me entertain depressing thoughts because I feared food. I had trouble with remembering things, and even just trying to string basic thoughts together. I hated who I became. I couldn't recognize myself. Enjoying Thomas gave me a small connection to who I was before my health had declined so quickly. I allowed the boy to be a moderator after I had confused him with someone else I was going to appoint twice. To his credit, he was disappointed, but he was polite about it. I felt I owed it to him for my mistake. He did turn out to treat the person we were defending badly and had to be kicked out for that. He started saying nasty things, picking fights, and abusing his moderator powers, so he was kicked from our group. Danceinator was there for this, but purposely manipulated the story for her benefit. She didn't like that I wouldn't give in to her and stood my ground. She and another young adult decided to throw tantrums and leave. I was actually relieved.
What you said draws a lot of parallels. We will look at the screenshots and discuss those parallels. Ms. Gressley, did Danceinator ever give you a chance to explain why you were in those subreddits? What beliefs led you to be in those groups?
No, she made false assumptions about me and then spread these rumors to whoever she could. She also shared these with grosspecans, who used these lies for his benefit as well. I don't believe that children should be killed or not exist, but a majority of parents are either abusive or are too lenient, and they are raising spoilt, privileged, and entitled children. I am also child-free both because of multiple health issues, but also because I have a history of verbal and emotional abuse from younger people and peers. This has caused me to have trust issues with many of them, and a desire to avoid them whenever possible. I never wanted to be a mother myself, and usually tend to stick around older people. I'm awkward around kids, but I'm attempting to deal with this. I'm learning that not all kids are bad. I still don't want to be a parent, even if adoptive, but I am appreciative of the ones who can have an appropriate friendship. Most people my age want to talk about sex, marriage, or relationships, their children and families, and related stuff. I am divorced, and I have no interest in relationships, nor do I care to hear about most people's kids or families. I'm mildly amused by family drama, because I can relate to it, but that's about the extent. I don't wish to be involved in drama myself, and am living happily without romantic or sexual relationships. I don't want to hear about people's partners. I feel free by not having to give in to others by complying with their ideas of attraction. I have no attraction or desire to be with anyone beyond platonic. It's incredibly refreshing when you just hang out with folks and discuss trains and such. I find that I relate a lot more to some of them than I thought, especially because of my trauma. Again, I had made the mistake of engaging too much in her Discord instead of being a lurker. I did make dirty jokes about the trains there as well, because I felt uncomfortable and awkward. She and several others would discuss their partners, which would make me feel uncomfortable. I feel like some of this was permitted in order to taunt me and provide an excuse for her to reprimand me. There was something about it that felt incredibly disturbing.
What was her relationship with grosspecans like?
Even when she claimed she wasn't defending him, she was extremely dismissive of his actions. She wouldn't explain why she defended him. She claimed she was studying psychology. This would have been an excellent learning experience for her, and she could have exhibited some of what she learned by educating the rest of us. This made me doubt her further, and to be honest, I think she was aware of that when I first pointed out that Gross was a narcissist. She would whine and say we cannot simply label him, but wouldn't give any decent explanations to either give insight into his behavior or to defend why we shouldn't question anything. She wanted us to just blindly believe whatever and go silent. It felt as if she was trying to manipulate us into giving up defending the people Gross had originally targeted. She made the excuse that it makes me look bad if people see that I made a minor a moderator. Why did it really look bad? Because she kept drumming this idea into people's minds.
Oh, yeah. That narrative was an intentional attempt at distraction. They didn't like that, as they put it. You fought with younger people, especially minors, but they don't want you doing good for them either, which was another distraction in and itself. It's also projection, as they were guilty of fighting with and antagonizing you. It's a two-way street, and they don't want anyone to see that. You can't win no matter what you do. It's a lose-lose situation.
She also didn't like that I seemed to steal the spotlight from her. In all honesty, I didn't want her to become a fellow moderator because of her questionable behavior. She pressured the owner of the subreddit into making her one. She later argued with him.
I see that she is still allowed in the subreddit as a chum bucket man, Ed the animator, Tech is much juvenile, Carl Jensen, and others who defended both pedophiles Gross and danceinator. They obviously don't really give a fuck about keeping anyone safe from predators. Again, it was distraction, an excuse for deflection.
Notice too how they allow dirty jokes and off-color comments, but it's only okay for someone in that specific age range demographic. It's ageist.
This makes a lot of sense, and the screenshots reflect that. Let's take this apart in more detail, because you brought up some things that will make very good points. When you said that she was very dismissive of Gross's behavior, this was indeed an intentional attempt to silence you. She'd already joined allegiances with him at this point and was under his influence. Her betrayal toward you hadn't been completely discovered yet, so she was attempting to use this to her advantage. She may have even been formulating ideas at this point in order to target you for her own narcissistic supply. She saw that Gross was gaining a successful supply and wanted on the bandwagon for her own benefit by using you as her target. She recycled most of the same lies Gross did because it didn't require much effort. She was able to remain incognito, and it worked for her because her enablers didn't compete with Gross's. She was willing to give Gross enough attention, and she shared his narrative. It saved her needing to create her own to exploit you with. She also seems to lack empathy and didn't care that she was manipulating others or hurting anyone. In all honesty, she probably didn't even really care one way or other about Gross. He was a convenient vehicle for her own manipulation tactics to achieve her own enablers, and it worked.
He probably didn't care that he was being used either.
One important thing to know is that you cannot convince a narcissist about the truth. The truth doesn't exist in their mindset, because that would work against them. In their mindset, the truth will take away their supply of enablers and take away their precious supply of attention and validation. They would be forced to confront their issues, which is their biggest fear. So, once you realize they won't listen to the truth, stop trying to convince them and start educating yourself and others to the possibility that they may be a narcissist or other psychopath. Arm yourself with education and at this point, and explain their behavior as you would a research essay in college. Ignore the narcissist and share the research with the public to educate them. Your goal is to educate as many people as possible so they become aware and avoid becoming enablers of the narcissist, because the narcissist is manipulating them as well.
Narcissists do sometimes team up with other narcissists and internet trolls for supply, or the attention and validation they need to regulate their self-esteem. These relationships can take many forms, from short-term alliances to dysfunctional marriages. For narcissists, others are instruments to be used for their benefit, and these partnerships are not based on mutual care, but on shared self-interest. A narcissist may use other narcissists as flying monkeys to do their dirty work, such as spreading rumors or harassing a target. The accomplice enjoys the power and drama, while the instigator reaps the main reward. In professional or social settings, two narcissists may form a mutual admiration society. They publicly praise each other to appear more important and powerful, reinforcing each other's grandiose self-image. This also serves as a way to network their efforts for more supply.
Narcissists often recognize each other's manipulative traits, but will team up if it serves their interests, such as advancing in a company. However, these alliances are fragile and can turn into bitter rivalries once one narcissist perceives the other as getting more recognition or status. Internet trolls often score high on the dark tetrad of personality traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism, psychopathy, and sadism. Trolling is a way for them to get a sadistic thrill from causing others pain. Machiavellianism is a personality trait marked by manipulativeness, deceitfulness, and a cynical disregard for others' feelings to achieve self-serving goals. This trait is characterized by a callous, calculating approach to relationships, where people are viewed as tools to gain power and status. High max are skilled at using flattery, cunning, and deception to influence and exploit others for their own benefit. They typically show a cynical and unemotional view of the world, struggling to understand or share the emotions of others. Effective empathy. Their primary focus is on personal gain, power, and status, regardless of the moral implications or harm to others. Their actions are strategic and planned, involving a detached and cold demeanor, sometimes appearing almost robotic. These individuals use trolling to assert dominance and control. They enjoy creating chaos and commanding attention in online forums and comment sections. Those with more fragile egos also engage in trolling. They lash out in response to perceived slights, using online aggression to mask their insecurity or to feel superior to others. Social media and anonymous online platforms are the perfect tool for narcissists. They are used to bait and harass people, which provides a form of negative supply, attention and validation through drama and outrage. This behavior also reinforces their sense of power and control.
Both narcissists and trolls are motivated by a desperate need for external validation. The narcissist needs to feel important and admired, while the troll derives pleasure and a feeling of power from provoking emotional responses in others. Trolling creates a chaotic environment where the narcissist can gain attention, whether it's positive or negative. For a narcissist, the internet offers an ideal setting to acquire supply because it provides distance and anonymity, which minimizes the real-world consequences of their actions. An internet troll often operates under the same conditions, making them a willing partner in creating online chaos to draw attention. Narcissists regularly use people as pawns to carry out their campaigns of abuse. An internet troll is a perfect flying monkey because they are primed to harass, spread misinformation, and attack a target online. This alliance allows the narcissist to launch a smear campaign and create drama without direct confrontation. Narcissists use tactics such as bullying, shaming, and policing others to maintain control and assert their superiority. They can use an allied troll to launch these attacks anonymously or to amplify their messages. The troll's behavior allows the narcissist to feel powerful and entitled. A narcissist might enlist a network of trolls to harass a target by commenting on their posts, creating fake accounts, or engaging in a public smear campaign. The narcissist can use a troll as a proxy to start conflicts, especially if the narcissist is a vulnerable type with low self-esteem. The troll can engage in aggressive behavior while the narcissist remains seemingly removed from the situation, avoiding accountability. Trolls can be used to support the narcissist's false narrative by derailing conversations with negative or irrelevant comments.
Right. So, for example, if someone calls out the narcissist, the troll can jump in with insults and disruptions to distract from the issue.
And to be honest, this sounds exactly what happened here. The narrative has been the same, with more people adding onto it.
Blind faith is a key trait of a narcissist enabler who maintains unwavering and uncritical support for the narcissist despite their toxic or harmful behavior. This misplaced loyalty allows the narcissist to operate without accountability, enabling their abusive actions to continue unchecked. The enablers rationalize the narcissist and themselves abusing and make excuses for the narcissist's bad behavior, often explaining away cruelty or manipulation with justifications like they didn't mean it, they're just having a tough time, or other related excuses. Enablers will stand up for the narcissist no matter what they have done wrong, sometimes adopting the same abusive tactics like gaslighting or projection to minimize the narcissist's wrongdoing and shift blame. They buy into the false reality the narcissist has created, where the narcissist is always the victim and is never at fault. This shared delusion helps the narcissist maintain their grandiose self-image. Enablers ignore or downplay red flags and boundary violations because their tolerance for toxic behavior is high due to their own past experiences with abuse. Some enablers are motivated by a fear of angering the narcissist, and their compliance becomes a survival mechanism to avoid becoming a target themselves.
An enabler's self-worth can become tied to their relationship with the narcissist. They feel needed by the narcissist, and maintaining that dynamic, even if it's dysfunctional, is critical to their own sense of purpose. Many enablers were conditioned by abuse in their own childhoods and learned to accept or normalize toxic behaviors. Enablers often have unresolved abandonment issues and fear losing the relationship, even if it is unhealthy. The narcissist exploits this fear by threatening to leave or withdraw affection. The intermittent cycle of abuse and affection from a narcissist can create a powerful trauma bond, which makes the enabler feel deeply attached and loyal despite the mistreatment. The narcissist is adept at playing the victim and leveraging an enabler's empathy. They inspire sympathy to get the enabler to help or protect them, triggering a powerful rescuer instinct.
For a victim trying to break free from a narcissist, dealing with an enabler's blind faith can be profoundly damaging. The enabler's excuses and distortions invalidate the victim's reality, causing them to question their own judgment. Enablers may actively participate in the narcissist's smear campaigns, joining in to undermine the victim's credibility and paint them as the crazy, jealous, or guilty one. The enabler's loyalty to the narcissist often forces the victim to cut ties, not only with the narcissist, but also with mutual friends and family, who enable the abuse. The enabler provides external validation for the narcissist, strengthening their ego and convincing them that their abusive actions are acceptable. This makes it more likely the narcissist will continue their harmful behavior. These are the things that cause enablers to lose their individual identity when they defend the narcissist. They allow the narcissist to control and manipulate them, and they too become a vehicle for causing pain and abuse while being tricked into thinking they are doing something for the greater good. In reality, they are only feeding the real predator and engaging in perpetuating further abuse.
In our next episode, we will explain danceinator's screen caps in more detail. Stay tuned.
Atop a burdened donkey rode a stranger into town, tilted in the saddle, one leg dragging on the ground. He had crooked eyes, a crooked nose, could look both ways as he crossed the road. The rope that held his pants up was barely even tied. He slid off his steed and took a big swig from a flask. Then he said out loud, although nobody had asked, "I'm just a dumb fuck from bumblefuck nowhere." He had bloodshot eyes, a dripping nose. Then through all the chaos we all started hearing clops. He was the dumb fuck from bumblefuck nowhere. "Look, my friends, are you sure you wanna go there?" said the dumb fuck from bumblefuck nowhere. Oh, to my surprise, I saw a glint of fire in those crooked-looking eyes. He was the dumb fuck from bumblefuck nowhere. The dumb fuck from bumblefuck nowhere. And it sure was a sight to see. They set 10 men up, he knocked 10 men down, and any man who took a stand was sentenced then to die. He was a dumb fuck from bumblefuck nowhere. He was the dumb fuck from bumblefuck nowhere. Oh, the dumb fuck from bumblefuck nowhere.